So if you kind of think about the notes as being where you're going to go, and then once you get there, think of that as like the clothing that you're going to put on it. You know, major is one thing and minor is the other thing. So if I want G minor, G tells me to go to the 3rd fret. Minor tells me what kind of clothing I'm going to put on that chord, G minor. Okay? The 5th string works exactly the same way, except on the 5th string we're going to be moving the A chords, A major and A minor, up and down the fretboard. Now again, we could go into a big long, dissertation about chords and 7th chords and 9th chords, and again, you probably know lots of different things like that. That's not what this course is about, so I don't want to get too far into those things unless it's serving our purpose. So this week, the big thing is that I want you to know major and minor on the 6th and the 5th, okay? So if you're wondering why aren't you talking about 7th chords, that's why. We're not there yet, okay? So the 5th string when I pluck it is A. We talked about this before. And then B would be at the 2nd fret, C, D, E, F, G. We learned those. So what you're going to be doing is taking the A major chord and the A minor chord, and you're going to be moving those 2 chords up and down the guitar with a bar in front of it again, just like you did on the 6th string. Now A, you might play A with 3 fingers like this. You might play A with 3 fingers like this. Some people even play A with just 2 fingers. The point is you're pressing on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings at the 2nd fret. However you need to do that, but that's what you're doing to create a major chord. When you want minor, you're going to be pressing on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. That's how you create the minor sound. Okay? So your 2nd string becomes a really, really important string because that's the one that defines whether the chord is major or minor. Okay? So now, if I was to take an A chord, I'm using 3 fingers right now on the 2nd fret of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings, and I move up 1 fret higher, and I bar across the bottom 5 strings because I'm on a 5th string chord right now. A only uses 5 strings. So I'm not pressing on the 6th string, I'm just pressing on the bottom 5 here. And then I've got my 3 fingers here. This would be A sharp or B flat, whatever you would like to call that. That's what that chord would be, A flat major. B flat major or A sharp major, okay? Now, a couple things to talk about real quick. A lot of people will go, why can't I just bar over the 6th string? In reality, you really can. The only thing is the more you keep adding that 6th string into the bass like this, there's 2 things that happen. Number one, sometimes your visual gets screwed up because you start seeing the 6th string instead of the 5th string. And, the note on the 6th string is F. The note on the 5th string is A sharp or B flat. So that can be a really huge hindrance if you're looking at the wrong note by accident. The other thing is even if you see the right note, but you use that 6th string all the time, everything starts sounding like Black Sabbath. And unless you want all your songs to sound like Black Sabbath, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, I suppose, it just sounds really, really heavy most of the time. So if you're looking for heavy, that's a great way of making your chord sound heavier. But if you're not, it's generally a good idea to leave it out. Okay? Now, instead of using 3 different fingers to press on this chord, what most people do, including myself, is you'll press on those 3 strings right there, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings, with 1 finger, with your ring finger. And that way, as you get into these thinner frets, it's easier to fit your fingers in there. You can't, I got really small fingers, and it's hard for me to fit all 3 of my fingers in 1 fret like that. So it's nice to have just 1 finger available. The other thing that's really nice about that is then I've got my pinky available to do different things with as well, okay? So 6th string bar chords, major and minor. 5th string bar chord, major, which is this finger over the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. This finger's barring over the bottom 5, okay? 5th string on down. Now the tricky part about your ring finger is trying not to touch the 1st string. A lot of people have a really hard time bending their finger right there, so they're touching the 2nd string, but they're not touching the 1st string. Okay? So let me give you one bit of really important advice with your bar chords. Okay? The most important thing with this bar chord is that you're pressing on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings right here.